leap and the net will appear. I'm sure you probably would have heard about this quote some of the other places. A lot of time, my dear friends, you are not able to take the leap of faith is because of the factor of fear, of the factor of consequences. What will happen if things don't work out? And so you try to create a self-destructing story for yourself that this will not happen, this will not happen, this will not happen, or if this happens, or this happens, or this happens. And that's one of the reasons why that entire string of fear, string of things not happening is what will be going around in your mind on a continuous basis. I've been a big believer of leap and the net will appear. It's an old Zen saying, and I embraced and I learned that a very long period of time. Let me narrate to you two incidences in my life where I leaped and the net did appear. I was working with one of the IBM business partner, which is L'Oreal Information Technologies, and I became one of the first IBM solution sales specialists in the entire country to sell the IBM servers, AS400, RS6000, of course a lot of other servers and laptops and desktops and all of that. And later on I was also awarded the best salesperson by IBM, and the managing director of course gave me a Nokia 6110i mobile, a ticket to go to Kathmandu, a 5,000 rupees check, a beautiful handwritten letter. And that's when I happened to go to Kathmandu to stay there in the swankiest of the hotel called Hotel Solti Crowley and be part of a business conference there. In that entire business conference, I happened to meet Shiv Khera, who was a speaker, a leadership speaker in that particular conference. After the conference, me and the MC of the program, Aldrich Fung, and both of us were walking the streets of Kathmandu, and he said, Solomon, do you think, in his thick baritone voice said, do you think we can do something like Shiv Khera? And I said, yes, I would love to become somebody like Shiv Khera. So I leaped into that by way of, first, I went to Narsimhanji College, I did a skills development diploma. Then I went to Paresh Acharya's MILT program and I did a rigorous leadership development program. Then I did the sales development program. Then I did a Silva graduate program. Then I went to IIM Calcutta. I did Marshall Goldsmith. I went to Tony Robbins. I got certified by some of the best business simulations companies in the world. And in 2001, I jumped into learning leadership development space. I had absolutely no clue of how I'm going to market, how I'm going to get business, and nothing of that sort. But I just lived. I remember during that time I had salary of around 15,000 rupees per month. All right, sounds crazy now. Then I started getting programs, and some of the programs were like 500 rupees for an hour. I remember doing for 4 hours and getting 2,000 rupees for that day, and then graduated to 1,000 rupees, and then graduated to 2,000 rupees for a half a day, sometimes 3,000 rupees for a half a day, sometimes 5,000 rupees for a day's worth of program, right? That's how my journey happened. But over a period of time, God has been kind, and that 1,000 rupees, 5,000 rupees, sometimes became 10, sometimes became 20, sometimes became 30, and so on and so forth. Sometimes the rupee became dollars, and over a period of time, I've trained 250,000 corporate professionals in over 20 different countries. That's one example of how leap and the net will appear. Second beautiful incident, I was staying in a place in Mulund East in a standalone building. In that standalone building, there was no parking place. So I had to scout around for parking places all the time when I used to come back from my office. And that wasn't a very good experience for me, especially during the hot summer, especially during rainy seasons. There was absolutely no way I could get any parking space. So that was something which was always going around in my mind, number one. Number two is I was not very fond of the people out over there, the language they were using, the relationship they had with quite a lot of people, and their habits, and so on and so forth. And that was one of the reasons why I wanted to get out of that building. And the third reason is there was hardly any walking space for me, my family members, or running space for me and my family members at all. And there was absolutely no way I could play around with my two daughters in that entire building. So I was constantly looking for something. One is parking space for sure. Second is a place to run and walk for sure. And a place which could have all the other amenities like gym, like swimming pool, like being a multi-story building with good amount of security and all of those things. I came across a place in Mulund West and I was constantly looking at that particular place, and I happened to speak to my financial planner then, and he said, Solomon, you have got a big loan on this existing property and it's absolutely not possible that you can buy a new house. And so I was in a dilemma. I want to get out of this house, I want to look for a better place, but this big loan of mine was always on my head and I didn't have enough cash flows during that particular point of time to just go and jump. But over a period of time, it kind of became so much desperate for me that I wanted to get out of this house, and the loan was there and the house was not getting sold. I put that house on a blog for a long period of time, for almost 3 years, but the house was not getting sold. Finally, I used to go to Mulund West. Whenever I used to go to Mulund West, I used to stare at that particular building and visualize of going and staying along with my family, going to the gym, going to the swimming pool, running and walking and all of the kind of facilities which I used to get. And then one fine day, I simply went into the office, took my wife along, took my brother-in-law along, took my brother along, and finally we decided to make a down payment for that house and then buy that house. Leap and the net will appear. I was not sure when will the net appear and how it will appear, but I said, okay, let's go forward. Surprising, my house got sold in less than a month's time. And who bought it? My immediate neighbor, who was searching for a house at that particular point of time. He said, Solomon, we'd love to see your house, and I know the work which you have done, the interiors which you have done, and quite a lot of people have been saying about the house. They came, they saw the house, and lo and behold, I was supposed to get the house after 9 months. And they said, Solomon, we're absolutely okay for you to stay for 9 months, and then we'll pay you in installments, and after 9 months, after we pay you the money, you can then shift. And this is two miraculous things which happened. One is they came, they bought the house, they paid the money, we got the agreement done, we got the loan for them through my brother-in-law, and we got time to stay for close to around 9 months. By the time we made our payments to this new builder, and we on Jan, which is exactly a year later, moved from the old house to the new house. Leap and the net will appear. Sometimes, my dear friends, it's important for you to just roll the die. You never know when will you get that 6 for yourself.